And for the last phase of this chapter, I'm going to show you examples of how I applied my reference research to my personal and professional images. First example is an image I made using Jama's night assets. Since the 3D models were already figured out for me, I thought that I should try to capture a great mood and lighting plus composition for it. I'm a huge film buff, so I remembered the film Revenant looked amazing. I looked up some screenshots and I saw it could help me figure out the mood for this image. Second stage was figuring out the lighting, and for this I looked up Ridley Scott's film Gladiator and went through the film and found a screenshot that reflected the type of lighting I was looking for. This doesn't mean I was pre-planning all of this before starting. I was just looking through a lot of films that had similar vibe to what I wanted to achieve in my image. And last but not least, the composition. This is a screenshot of the Love, Death and Robot episode called The Secret War. And one thing I have to say about composition is that artists have been borrowing from each other for ages. In paintings, films, music, literature, and games. And this is where the 80-20% rule comes in play. By trying to capture the same composition, I felt it wasn't fully where I wanted to be. So I tilted the camera a bit more and voila, I made it my own. With my own perspective, it became my own composition. Another example is this night image. I wrote down the idea that I wanted, which was a knight praying at a statue at a graveyard filled with snow. So the first thing I did is look up how a graveyard actually looks like and found some great ideas that I could borrow from my own image making. As you can see here, I took all my references and mixed them up in my pot and sprinkled some juicy light on top.
Shit, I got some bars. Mom's spaghetti, bro.
Thirdly, we have this image I made for The Last of Us Part 2. The briefing was a girl committed suicide in a tub and the fungus was taking over. So I remembered the first trailer of the game and found the lighting works for this scene. I also looked up the shape of the fungus and tried to implement that in my image. And for the composition, I looked up some films online and found this composition working for the storytelling that I wanted to show. To bring it all together, the ideas may be floating around, but organizing them with your vision is up to you. Breaking down to building blocks, this will allow you to create the concept. Remember, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. As concept artists, we only have a limited amount of time assigned to us to figure out our images. During this time, we cannot lose quality. All it has to be is top-notch quality, so optimizing this process will help you to focus on that 20% that I mentioned earlier in your image creations.